First, let me give a big up to Dante's Boxing Nation. He's always on top of things. Great channel. Big up. Anyway, he just pointed out, I was previously watching one of his videos, and I mean, had kind of dawned on me, but I never really paid attention to it. There's definitely another tournament going on at this minute, and a lot of it absolutely has to deal with the fact that Top Rank has just the lawsuit that they had going against Al Heyman has just been taken care of. So the lawsuit that Top Rank has with Al Heyman or against Al Heyman and his people, that's no more in that at this current time. It's no more. So they've either taken care of it behind the scenes or in courts or however that go. So now that means that the Top Rank fighters there's more room for them to fight against the PBC fighters. So we can see a lot of good fights coming up. But then he also made the point that they have Jesse Vargas going up against Kell Brook. Now, Kell Brook, a lot of people do see as the best welterweight champion at the moment. People say that Danny Garcia, he has chinks in his armor. He's winning fights he shouldn't be winning. Where I look at the Danny Garcia fights that he's coming out on top, and I'm like, hey, that guy knows how to win. He probably doesn't have the best jab. He probably doesn't have the best power, but maybe he has the best timing. I mean, you got to be pretty sharp to go up against a guy that's has extraordinary hand speed, whose hand speed is much better than yours, and you're getting out of these fights. You got to be pretty sharp to go into fights against people who have extremely more experience than you, and you're getting out of these fights, even though they're putting constant pressure on you every single second. You have to be pretty sharp. So, the negative things that's usually said about Danny Garcia, I say, but he wins. So now you have Kell Brook going up against Jesse Vargas in August, right? So we're going to assume that the winner of that fight is going to fight against the winner of the Errol Spence Constantine fight. Because Errol Spence is the mandatory of whoever wins that fight. So now you're going to have the Errol Spence going up against the winner of, that's if he gets past Constantine, which, I mean, Errol Spence looks like a pretty sharp fighter also, so I'm pretty sure that he's going to get past Constantine. That should not be an issue. It's going to be probably a pretty good fight. I don't know. Maybe Errol Spence will just do what he does. But you have the Jesse. I pick Errol Spence in that fight, as you can obviously tell. So now you got Jesse Vargas going against Kell Brook, and in that fight, I'm gonna say I'm choosing Kell Brook. Kell Brook is just sharp. He's just you see him in that Porter fight. Porter to me is not one of the more skilled fighters, but he's good at what he does. What he does is he's just relentless. He doesn't give you chance or time to think that often. He's coming right at you. He knows what he wants to do. He knows who he is. He makes no bones about it. That's how he fights. I respect that, even though I do not think that he's more skilled than Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman just has he just has a higher level of skill, but Sean Porter does what he does better than Keith Thurman does what he does. Keith Thurman just has better skill, and he's a better fighter, in my opinion. It's just that Sean Porter is just all out committed to the thing that he does. He's wild and everything else. So I look for Keith Thurman to step to the side and catch him. Probably with a couple check hooks also. Just step to the side, because that's all you really got to do to Sean Porter is you just got to step to the side. You just got to be wary of it. Just aware. Pardon me. You just have to be aware. So then, besides the fact that we have the Kell Brook, Jesse Vargas, Errol Spence situation, Constantine Errol Spence situation, we also have the Porter Thurman. And then we have Garcia still out there. Garcia has not picked an opponent. Garcia, since his last fight, he has not picked an opponent. Garcia has no opponent. So maybe he hasn't picked an opponent because he's going to take the winner of the Thurman Porter fight. So then you have a situation where the winner of the Thurman Porter fight goes up against Garcia, and then the winner of the Thurman Porter Garcia situation goes up against the winner of the Kell Brook, Jesse Vargas, Errol Spence situation. Tournament. Once again, bigs up the Dante's Boxing Nation for pointing that out. He has a really good video about it. I'll put it in the comments. I'll put the link in the comments. A really good video. Other than that, Gotta go. I'm away with do.